Hello, my beautiful people. You're welcome to Naho Blessed Fashion. If you're new here, you are highly welcome. Please join this beautiful family. Subscribe and turn on your notification bell, okay? So, guys, I'll quickly show you guys how I made this beautiful mermaid skirt. I have a video on the rose flower itself. I'll drop the link in the description box. So, if this is what you want to learn, definitely keep on watching. Guys, my fabric is very stretchy, so I will just go ahead and draw out a starting line. You can make this as a skirt itself. You can attach it to you can make it a dress, attach it to the upper part, okay, whichever one you want to do. But me, I'm going to attach it to the upper part of my dress, okay. So from my starting line, I'm going to mark my hip measurement. The hip I'm working with is 9 inches, okay. So from the hip, I will take my nail measurement. The nail I'm working with is 22 inches. Please, guys, if you're not making use of a stretchy fabric, come up with 3 inches from your normal nail measurement, just so your client or you can walk freely with the skirt, okay. But if you're using a stretchy fabric, you can maintain your nail measurement. If you're not making use of stretchy fabric, please go up with 3 inches, just so you walk freely, okay. I hope you understand that. And then I'm going to take the full length of my skirt. The full length of the dress is 59 inches, so I'm going to minus 16 inches for the upper part, yeah, and the remaining inches will be for the skirts. So I just marked out my 59 inches, and I'm going to add extra 6 inches to the main measurement. I'm going to add extra 6 inches, just so the skirt can really flow on the ground, okay. So this is optional. You can use your normal measurements. You can add it up like this, okay. So I added up 6 inches. That includes sewing allowance, okay. So the next thing I will do is to create straight lines from those dots I marked, okay. So this is my hip line. The first one is our waist line, okay, and this is my hip line, and next is my nail line. I'm making use of the exact nail line. Like I said, if you're not using a stretchy fabric, please go up with 3 inches, just so you walk freely, okay. And this is the length I'm using. So guys, the next thing I'll do is to take my waist measurement. I'll divide my waist by 4. I'll mark that out, okay. I'm not going to use any darts for this because the fabric is stretchy. If you're not using a stretchy fabric, please go ahead and add 1 inch for your darts, okay. So if you want to add your darts, this is how you're going to do it. You're going to mark out your nipple to nipple measurement. That's bust to bust measurement, divide by 2. You mark that out, okay, and then you take your 1 inch, half inch from each side, okay, for your dart. But for me, I'm not using that, so I will just add my sewing allowance, and that's all. So my waist measurement and my sewing allowance is what I just marked. I'm making use of 2 inches for the sewing allowance. Next, I will take my hip measurement, divide by 4, and then I'll add my 2 inches for sewing allowance. And then what I have at my hip measurement, I'm going to minus 2 inches from what I have there. So definitely the 2 inches for sewing allowance is what I'm going to remove. So remove 2 inches from what you have in your hip line, okay. Then you mark that out at your nail line. So to get that mermaid effect, okay, this depends on the amount of fabric you have and depends on what your clients want, okay. So this is how to get that effect. I'm just going to spread it to This is the highest I can go because of my fabric. I've checked it out already. So I'll just go ahead and connect my nail with a slant to meet up with my full length. Okay. The next thing I'll do is to connect my nail to my hip line. Okay. Connect that with a straight line, and then using my cuff ruler, my hip cuff ruler, I'm going to connect my hip to my waist measurement. Okay. So as you can see, our mermaid skirt is coming out already. I'll just go ahead and cut it out, leaving 0.75 at the upper part. So I'm going to leave that for stitching allowance, and then I'll cut everything out. If you're making only the skirt, you will use the allowance to attach it to your band, okay? But for me, I'm attaching it to the upper part, so I left that allowance to attach it to my upper part. This is what we have. The next thing is to cut out the back piece. So the front piece and the back piece are the same. The difference is just the zipper allowance, okay? So guys, I've decided to make the front piece the back piece. And then what I'm cutting now will be the front piece. The reason is because my fabric is not enough, okay? So, and I left 2 inches for sewing allowance, okay, at the front piece. So I'm going to make use of 1 inches for zipper, okay, and 1 inches now will be for our sewing allowance. So the front now will be the back because of that extra 1 inches, okay. So our zipper is going to be having 1 inches. My material is very stretchy, like I said. So this is 2 yards of material, and I still have to manage it. So you may just have to get more than 2 yards, maybe 2.5 yards, or even 3 yards, depending on how you want that mermaid effect to be, okay. So I'm going to get the back piece. The back piece, like I said, they are different. Is just the extra 1 inches for zipper allowance. So I'm going to get the back piece and I'm going to slant it open. But before then, to eliminate zipper bulge at the back, I'm going to come in by 1/2 inch and I'll connect it to my hip line, okay. 1/2 inch at the waist, connect it to the hip like this with a slant, and then I'll continue separating this. You know, it was cut on fold. The both of them is cut on fold. So I'll open this one. That's the back piece. That's where our zipper is going to be, okay. Like I said, they are different. Is just the zipper allowance. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to join them together before I attach it to the upper part of my dress. I'll place the front piece like this, just as you can see. Now we get one of the back piece. I'll place it like this, and then I'll stitch it with the 1 inch allowance, okay. I'll place the second back piece too, like this. You see the center back is where our zipper is going to be. That's the place we opened, okay. I'm going to place it like this too. I'll stitch it with 1 inch allowance that I left for it, okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is to create a loose stitch at where my zipper is going to be. My zipper is going to stop at the hip line. The zipper is from the upper part of the dress, and then it's going to stop at the nail line. If you are sewing this dress separately, you're just going to use a short zip to stop at your hip line. Okay, then I'm going to make a normal stitch to stop at my nail line. Okay, we are going to be having a slit for this skirt, for the skirt part. So my slit is going to start from the nail line. Okay, so I'm going to stitch it from the hip to the nail line, and then for the slit I'm just going to fold it up like this and hem it down. I'll open it and use my hemming gum. You can stitch it down if you don't but if you don't want your stitching to show at the right sides, please just use your hemming gum. It's going to keep it intact. Okay, so I'll just do that and attach it to the upper part. Okay, that's basically all, guys. Nothing much. And this is what we have, as you can see. Thank you all for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Like this video and drop your comments. See you all in my next video. Bye.